because I believe every woman has a story to tell. And we all have so much more in common than we think. These are the women next to me.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Women Next to Me. So this is all about empowering women that I've met or that are in my life and helping us all realize how we are all connected and how we can be supportive of each other. So I'm super excited to have Bekah with me today. Bekah is my sister-in-law, and her and I have a lot of fun together when we get together, which has been yucky this year that we haven't been able to.
Right.
But Bekah has had a not very fun 2020 for a couple reasons. But Bekah, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So you are a mom.
I am of two girls, wonderful girls.
Yeah, they are. Sarah and Peyton Joe. So Peyton and Knox are very close in age, and they are buddies. It's kind of fun to get them together.
That it is.
Peyton's the mama hen.
Never.
We know that if they are in, like, if there's going to be trouble, Peyton will let us know.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
she will.
And she's
Even if you say the wrong words.
yeah, she's brilliant. She's such a smart little girl. So, and you are a wife to Jennifer,
I am.
and she is actually Jeremy's sister. So that's where the connection all lies, right?
That it is.
Yeah. Older sister. That the kids were actually shocked to find out that Jen was older than Jeremy.
No way.
It's so funny.
What'd Jeremy say?
It's like, what? And then he, of course, got the kids all riled up about it. So I was entertained. So, all right, let's talk about your 2020. You ready for this?
I am.
Okay, so for those of you watching this, just know that this is for people that have experienced things like this, from what I'm told, because I am not. There's a multitude of emotions through it all. And I think Bekah's at the point where she wants to tell her story and hopefully be able to help others in what she's experienced this year. You first of all had a big birthday this year. Let's get that over with first.
I hit my 50. That was a roller coaster itself, emotionally.
Yeah, but you don't look and act 50. So but I know it's still. I won't tell you what birthday I'm hitting this year.
You'll get there, and you'll see.
For sure. This birthday this year is hard for me. But Bekah loves to be active. So the kids love to go four-wheeling with you.
Yes, I love four-wheeling.
Yes, my big kids love it too. So you guys have a four-wheeler at your property. Do you have one or you have a couple now?
We have one.
Okay, yeah.
And then we have a side-by-side.
Yes. Okay. Yep. And then you guys have this amazing property that has a lot of fun trails through it. That the kids, that's like their favorite thing. And you guys do it in the winter too.
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of an all year thing. And then, what were your job before? You want to explain your job before everything too?
I am a heavy equipment operator for local 150. Big equipments you see on the side of the road. I climb up those ladders, check all the grease fittings and not change the oil, put oil in. So it's pretty active.
Yeah, very active. And you and Jen are just both very hands-on and like to build things and like to do things and have animals in and out of your house. And yeah, so okay, so you guys were actually watching Knox one weekend. It was close after my surgery this summer, right?
Yes, it was June 18th.
Yeah, so a week after my surgery. And you guys had the kids up there with Joanne and my mother-in-law. But you guys had Knox at your house, and you were out mowing the yard. And do you want to take it from there?
I will. I was out mowing. We were doing some yard work. Jen had some help out here. We're weeding and mowing the yard. So I have a zero turn. So I kind of got stuck. So we brought the tractor around. And if you know anything about a zero turn, you got to take off the tow mode or put it in tow mode. So it's a little thing on the back of your mower, allows your wheels to roll. So Jen took me up on the hill. I said, stop, I can get it from here. I unhooked everything. I walked to the mower. I forgot to push in that button for tow mode. So tow mode, you lose all control over everything. So a zero turn, if anybody's familiar with zero turn, there is no emergency brake on a zero turn. You release your levers because they go right over you. So I got on, I put the levers in, I went to turn, it wasn't turning. Right then my heart rate went skyrocketing. Tried to brake it, pulled the levers out, it wouldn't brake. Tried to turn the other way, it wouldn't brake. Tried to go in reverse, there's nothing. And so we're talking, I'm coming down the hill and we have a 6-foot retaining wall. So I'm coming down the hill, I see the retaining wall, I'm gonna go over it. So at this point, I release the levers to let me out. I take a jump, I land on the one leg and the mower came down and took out my ankle on my left leg. Automatic pain, sensation going on. I hear Jen on top of the hill screaming, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And she's running down. The guy we had helping, he runs over. And I get my bearings and I look down at my leg because obviously it hurts. So I look down and it's disconnected. My foot, my bones are broke, both of them, tibia, fibula, broke. I should have been bleeding like crazy, but I was not for some odd reason. Somebody was looking out for me. My nerve was intact and my artery or my vein was intact. So it was not bleeding. I think there was a spot, maybe they tell me this big. Don't know, didn't see it. But at that point, you could feel with your nerve exposed like that, you can feel the wind. You can feel people walking by you. And the sensation of the pain was outrageous. So they life flighted me out of there. And actually, we had a whole rigmarole with the medics, but I won't go on to that. But they life flighted me out of there. I went to Iowa City. Yep. I got sick in the helicopter, and they were trying to, because I was in so much pain, they had to give me all kinds of medicine. And being up in the air, I wasn't, used to that. So I get to the hospital. They take me in. They've doped me up now. I don't know what's going on. I have a surgery. Find out my right leg was broke. My tibula there was a chunk taken off. So they put that back in. They braced it at this time. They didn't do anything with it. The other one had a external fixator on it. So I wake up and that's what's going on with my legs. One's in a brace, one's got an external in there.
I remember after the first surgery, I remember hearing that the doctors weren't sure what was rock and what was bone.
That is correct. My ankle was shattered so bad that there was grass in there. There was gravel in there because we just graveled our patio back there. And they took a lot of digging out and they tried to get what they could out of that. Oh. So I was in the hospital 19 days. The first week, we're just playing it by ear to see what was going on. They came in and said, with this kind of trauma to your leg, that they could fix it. I would have to have bone grafts pretty much every year. They would fuse it together, so I would never be able to run again. And if you know me, I'm an active person. I'm the one, if the family's together, as you know, I'm with the kids.
Yes.
I've pulled a mattress out of your house one time and we bounced on it. So
it's happened. Yes.
So I'm the one with the kids. I'll take them bike riding. I'll run around with them. I'll chase them, whatever. So they said I will never be able to do that again. I would be in surgery every year. And my thought is, being an operator, I work all summer. We work 40 to 80 hours, just depending on the job. I can't do that. I can't take that time off. And He said the only other alternative would be amputation. And then you're like, wait a minute. What?
That's scary. That's scary.
So now you're putting that in your mind and you're playing with that like, wow, seriously, we're at this point.
Hmm.
It is emotionally hard, the hardest decision we had to make. And they said you can keep it the way it is and for a couple months decide. And I'm like, you know what? I just turned 50.
Yeah.
My job, if I can take this winter to get better, I can be ready to go back to work by the time it comes, because I love being an operator.
Yes.
I don't want to be in surgeries for every year for the rest of my life. I'm like, and I don't want to try it when I'm 60. I sure don't.
Right.
So we decided to amputate.
Hmm.
In the meanwhile, I jumped over, sorry. But my right leg, they have now decided we need to do surgery on it. Like, okay. So we go into surgery. I have one surgery on my left leg. They do a clean out basically to get, like you said, they weren't sure what was bone, what was gravel.
Hmm.
So they tried to clean it out that way. And then my right leg, I took a chunk off my tibia. So they put a plate and then basically 6 pins that went right through my knee. So that's what I have in there now. That I probably will have the rest of my life unless it really bothers me. They'll take it out.
So I do remember that as the days progressed of you getting in there, right? Like at first it was like your ankle and they knew obviously that part of it. And then it was like the next day and they were like, oh, and she broke this. And then it was the next day and it was like, and we found out she broke this, right? Like they were not realizing, you guys weren't even realizing the gravity of like each little area, that as things progressed and they like had addressed one area and then it was like, oh, now there's this. And so it was just kind of, I remember for a couple days like, my gosh, like it's not just one area, it's multiple on both legs. So
That it was. We just found out last month. Went to Iowa City because I have to go to Iowa City for frequent checkups. And one of the students came in and said, "I see what they did to your knee. Excuse me. Um, well, what'd they do about your broken ankle? What broken ankle? Oh, you didn't know you had broken your ankle too." And I'm like, well, that answers so many questions.
yeah,
So I'm
crazy.
just finding out other things. So I asked the doctor, and he goes, basically, we're addressed with your trauma.
Hmm. Right.
And
And
that was,
the trauma part first and then kind of figure out what else is going on. That makes sense. Oh my gosh.